Okay, so then, Francis, let's go to that then. How do you think the government should be dealing with this? Because Priti Patel has said in a statement that the government will review the report and then will consider how to respond to its content in due course. What do you think would be a logical next step for the government to take?
Well, I think going back to what I think it was Joshua who just spoke last said, there was a cover-up to the extent that in the Conservative Party in relation to Peter Morrison and the Liberal Party, later the Liberal Democrats, in relation to Cyril Smith, certainly did, according to the findings of this report, cover up what happened. Lord Steele has resigned. He's going to resign from the House of Lords. He is now in his 80s. This happened in the 1980s and 1990s and the 1970s and earlier, but the cover-up element of it is said to have happened in the 1980s in particular. These are extremely serious findings and damaging, and it's right to say that they're damaging. They are, however, it is important to remember that the report did dismiss the much more salacious and extreme allegations of cover-up and of paedophile networks and of allegations against particular individuals which were horrendous and plagued them towards the end of their life. Leon Britton and Lord Bramall, former Chief of the Defence Staff, and so on. So what should the government do? To a certain extent, and I don't want to sound complacent about this, and I don't think the government should be complacent and political parties should be complacent. To a certain extent, what the report found is that there was an attitude of deference in that period, and also an attitude by the security services that the priority would be to avoid individuals such as Cyril Smith, who once went abroad, I think, and also Peter Morrison, who was once a minister and was also followed abroad by the security services, to avoid them being the subjects of bribery and extortion and blackmail. That's wrong. One can understand why that would be the priority of the security service as opposed to the police, but it's certainly wrong that these allegations weren't put to the police. Would that happen now? My view is that it is unlikely to, because that attitude of deference has changed very significantly. And in fact, it might be said that when allegations are made against individuals with a high profile, the police rightly are very anxious that they do not give them special preferential treatment, and they do investigate them. So I think that there has been a change of attitude, a change of culture in the way in which these allegations are looked at and the way the police act towards people in the public eye. Whether the parties need to work more on that, they clearly need to take into account the report's findings. They need to look carefully at them.
Indeed.
Yes, sorry.